Hello, everyone. My name is Ana Martha Ayala, and I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. As a reminder, I do every video in English and Spanish, and it's the same video. And also, the degree theory uses Western modern astrology with the Placidus house system. So in today's video, I've gotten a lot of requests to do a follow-up of the attempted assassination of President Trump or former President Donald Trump. So because last Thursday I posted a video saying that in his chart he will be assassinated. At least that's what the natal chart says. And Lord, look at what happened. So anyway, I have gotten requests to go over so people learn why the event was triggered this past weekend. Anyway, I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and I'm going to bring up President Trump's natal chart as just a quick overview. He is ascendant Leo. This 29 degrees is conjunct Regulus. He is a Gemini rising. His sun is at 22 degrees. The ruler of his sun is Mercury, because the ruler of Gemini is Mercury. And it is at the 8th degree, which is a malefic degree. And also his sun sign is at 22 degrees, which is to kill or be killed. Now, just as a quick review, the ruler of the 8th house, which the 8th house, one of the things that it describes is the way you're going to die. So the ruler of the 8th house starts in Pisces, so therefore it is Neptune. Neptune is in the 2nd house at the degree of Leo because it's the 5th degree. So, the event happened on July 13th at 6:15 p.m. in Butler, Pennsylvania. And I am going to only discuss the triggers of, how I think this went down. I will not discuss anything about the shooter or any suspects or anything like that because my son, he joked with me. He says, I don't want anybody knocking on the door, the FBI or the CIA or the Secret Service knocking on the door. So let's see. The sun is in Gemini, and the ruler of the 8th house, which is Neptune, is squaring the ruler of the sun. Okay, so Gemini is always 2. So there will be another attempt at assassinating him, and I'll discuss that. I'll give you guys a preview of when I think it might happen. Okay, so let me pull up the and as also a reminder, the MC for Donald Trump is conjunct Algol, which is the demon star. It's the worst star of the heavens. So now let's go and discuss the transits, which is what we call a trigger, right? This is what, and it's set to July 13th, 2024. So this outer circle with these outer planets are where, the planets were on July 13th. So we can see that the ruler of the 8th house, Neptune, is transiting his 8th house. So that does not bode well, right? The ruler of his sun, Mercury, is in the 12th house. So the 12th house is losses, okay? Now, what triggered the event is Uranus and Mars conjuncts his MC, Algol. And if you guys, because his MC is at 24 minutes, 24 degrees, 21 minutes of Taurus, right? And Mars was at 24 degrees, 30 minutes. So you have 9 minutes. And Mars was the trigger for the event. Now, just a quick reminder, Mars rules any type of weapons, sharp objects, bullets, knives, scissors, swords, and obviously it rules war. But interestingly enough, um, it's conjunct Uranus, which is things that happen all of a sudden, unexpectedly, out of the norm. Now, the shooter, I found out because I read an article on him. He was loaded, he had loaded bombs in his car, and that is also ruled by Uranus, bombs. Now, one interesting fact was that the shooter aimed at Donald Trump's head. I'll go. I'll go is to die by decapitation. In the old days, they would just cut your head off. Today, you could use bullets, right? So, it's interesting because the last attempt on a president was back in 1981 with Ronald Reagan, and the shooter shot President Reagan under the left arm. So he was aiming at the heart, but I guess he missed and hit a rib, and it also punctured the lungs, so it caused internal bleeding. Now, um, so to make it very clear and for you guys to see what I was saying, the natal chart says that he will die in a Pisces way. And how will he die? Neptune. Neptune rules assassinations. Now, Neptune at the fifth degree, which is the degree of Leo, to be a king, to be a president, right? Is squaring Mercury, the ruler of his ascendant. Now, what happened? We have the ruler of his eighth house transiting the eighth house. So President Trump's life is at risk throughout this transit. From here to here, his life will be at risk. Now, Mercury, the ruler of his sun, is in the 12th house, losses, to lose one's life. Because the sun rules the vitality. It rules, the ascendant is important, don't get me wrong, but it's also the ruler of the ascendant is also the sun. So this is a double whammy, right? Now, the degree theory states 22 degrees to kill or be killed. Mercury is at the eighth degree, which is a malefic degree. If you guys have seen my other videos, Nikola Stoyanovich, the man who developed the degree theory, the astrologer who developed the degree theory, said that the eighth degree in Taurus is black magic. He didn't identify what 8 degrees were in different signs other than Taurus. However, putting that aside, the eighth degree is ruled by Scorpio, which means death. So this event was triggered by the Uranus-Mars Algol conjunction because his MC is conjunct Algol. So when he is president or doing president stuff, his life is at risk. Now, the part two to this is I think that there may be another attempt on his life, and it'll happen rather soon. So I looked a little bit ahead, and let's start with this. So I can kind of try to teach you guys Not that I look, let me just clarify, not that I look for people, or presidents or whatever trying to get assassinated or stuff like that. That's not how I spend my time. But since I was asked to do a follow-up on the video and I was going to do it anyway. Wait, it's not. Hold on. I just thought I said, okay, let me show you how I do my research so that that way you guys start to think. And this is a little bit more for the advanced students in astrology, but for the beginners, this is how you should start thinking ahead. So anyway, um, I think that there could be another possible attempt to assassinate Donald Trump. And it starts when on February 28th, because Mercury enters his eighth house. Remember, Mercury is the ruler of his sun. Um, but then the second planet, the sun, is going to cross into the eighth house, right? Because it's going to go into Pisces. And that'll happen on March 14th. So let me go here. March 14th. Let me add the transits. And you see how the sun is now entered his eighth house. Mercury is in his eighth house. And then on March 19th, Saturn will enter his eighth house. Saturn is one of those planets which can predict death. Um, I'm not saying that this is when Donald Trump is going to die. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there could be another possible attempt. So if anybody knows him personally or anybody from the Secret Service, FBI is watching this, you guys might want to give him extra security. And so now you see that the ruler of the eighth, Neptune, is joined by Mercury, the ruler of his sun, and the sun is also in the eighth house. And then on top of everything, Saturn is in his eighth house. So what does this mean? You have a stellium. You have a concentrated energy in his eighth house, which is the house that describes how a person is going to die. So this is a recipe for disaster for President Trump. Now, once Mercury leaves Aries, at 21 or more degrees, and then the sun leaves Aries as well after the 21st degree, because this is the house cusp here is 21 degrees, then the immediate threat will be over. However, Neptune and Saturn are still going to be in his eighth house, which is not very comforting. So if he gets elected, his life will be at risk during his presidency because, all right, so Saturn is, let me see, Saturn here is at 22 degrees in March. So it's still going to be a little bit of ways, but Saturn has to clear Aries, and you know that Saturn's transit is about 2.5 years in each sign. So let's say that for the next 3 years, Saturn, which is one of the triggers, that describes death, right? It's one of those planets that does cause death, will be in his eighth house for about 3 years. So while he is president, if he gets reelected, they will be coming for him. You can refer to the video that I did Thursday. I think I posted it on Thursday, so that way you can get a more detailed explanation. But I think that this should satisfy the viewers who requested to know why I said what I said and what the trigger is, what happened on July 13th, and potentially what can happen again with the days surrounding March 19th, right? So I would say maybe from like February 28th, when that Mercury hits that eighth house, to when the planets clear, Mercury and the sun are going to clear um late April, let's say. However, once again, Neptune and Saturn will still remain in his eighth house, and that is not a good combination. So, let me go back to the events that happened on the 13th of July, 2024. When you add the transits here, then you see again, these little planets are what triggered the attempted assassination. Again, the ruler of his eighth house is Neptune. Neptune is currently transiting his eighth house. You have the conjunction of Uranus and Mars conjuncting his MC with Algol, because his MC is conjunct Algol, which is the demon star. So Mars is the planet that triggered this event. And Mars is to shoot, it rules bullets. Bombs is Uranus, and you see both. And like I said, the shooter, according to one of the news videos that I saw, had bombs in his car. So this is basically what happened. If you guys have any questions or it wasn't clear or you didn't understand, then, leave me a comment below and I will try to explain. But I think that you see how the astrology works. And again, in March of next year, I would say starting February till like late April, there could be another assassination attempt, but specifically it peaks or it starts to peak on March 19th. So, I wish him the best. I don't think that, we should get to this point, the amount of hatred, regardless, whether he's a Republican, a Democrat, it doesn't really matter. It's a life of a person. And for all of the people that attend these, whatever you call them, reunions or events, be mindful, be careful. And I do plan to do a video on the election day itself, but needless to say, I keep saying, especially for people that live around Washington, D.C., but it could be applicable to any area or any city where there could be a lot of Democrats versus Republicans or liberal versus conservatives or whatever, because no one is going to be happy with the outcome of this election. No one. Okay. And there will be a lot of rebellion. There will be protests. There could be terrorist attack because Uranus is hovering around. So I hope that everybody is mindful about their surroundings, buy extra food, maybe have on at the house or at your apartment a couple of weeks worth of food, water, a couple of weeks worth of water, gas, to if you need to make a quick exit, make sure that you have a plan to go to somebody else's house, a friend's house, a family's house, or apartment. Again, I'm not saying this to scare anybody. I'm just saying to be cautious, because this fall is going to be heavy duty, not only for the United States, but worldwide. And stay tuned because I'll be making more videos about the upcoming events. So as always, I wanted to thank you for watching the video. If you have learned anything from this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and maybe send it to somebody that is learning astrology. And as always, if you would like a chart reading with me, please send me an email to amaastrology@aol.com, and I'll see you in the next video.